shock imagery, and like anytime when we were linked on, we were the featured article on Wikipedia about a year and a half ago, and so
everyone just finished that story.
Partially they're like, oh, damn it, but the other they're like, yes, you know, they're kind of like, hell yeah, and it was like, you know, gore thread night. You know, welcome Wikipedians, here, click this thread. It's funny that, I mean, 4chan has gotten more extreme based on kind of where we started. It was this anime nerd site, it still kind of is, but the content used to be very tame, and it became more porny and more extreme. But I don't think 4chan has gotten more extreme over the years. It's kind of plateaued as far as extreme. I mean, I guess when you kind of hit the ceiling, it's just there's nowhere further to go. I mean, they push limits, but I mean, there still is a hard limit there.
Whenever folks who aren't sort of from, like, civilians kind of ask about 4chan, I always say that, like, you know, I know you love lolcats, so if I can go to I Can Cheeseburger, don't ever go to 4chan. 4chan, just because you love tasty meat doesn't mean you need to go to the fucking butcher shop, right? One of the things that I love about, or one of the things I think is interesting about it, is I feel like that extremism, or whatever you want to call it, like acts almost as a filter. Almost like a gatekeeper. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like in a good way of keeping out the people you don't necessarily want to have in there, right? Because of everything you say about for all the things that are great about anonymity, right? Especially when you're young, you want to be able to explore ideas. You want to be able to like put shit up there and not have to worry about like what people are going to think of you, because you just want to get that idea out there. By being able to like put it behind this wall of extreme, whatever you want to call it. Like,
yeah, well, we kind of pride ourselves in having no barriers. I mean, 4chan there's no registration, I mean, like, technically there's nothing in between you and visiting the site and contributing, but there is a very real barrier as far as the content and the culture and the language is concerned. You know, people who don't know the internet don't get 4chan. They get there and they see, you know, somewhere chat with like lots of penises, and you know, they see gore, they see extreme content, they see you know, racist, misogynist. They see all sorts of content that turns them off of the site, and you have to be able to stomach that to, at least on B. I mean, it is important to remember that there are 48 or so topics on 4chan. The origami board is pretty tame, you know. I heard it's the Pokemon board now.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, but the random board does have that kind of filter as far as like, do you understand it, number one, and can you get past all of the quote unquote extreme content and stick there.
But even that, like, it's all like collective group think. Like there is no rules, and then like one day it's like, oh, you know, gore thread, or like, you know, child porn. Like it's, you know, we are. I've heard. You know, it's
what
like,
was that time till CP? Was that 10 minutes?
So, but I mean, like that's the most interesting thing about all of this is, like, you know, 4chan didn't have any rules, and it just sort of like collectively decided, like, oh, this is the most awful thing, but it's also like the funniest thing, and here's a funny comic. Whereas, you know, Tumblr has the same, vaguely the same barriers.